Well, it's like this, see? Our world is made of strands all wove together. Now, when something terrible or unnatural happens to a creature, the strands get all knotted. Now, this here tree went through some tribulations. Must have left his knots all over the place. All you gotta do is use your magic bottle and...
Wait. I don't have a magic bottle.
South of Midnight is a magical, realist journey through the heart of the Deep South, and it might just be one of the most stylistically bold and culturally rich games of the year. With mesmerizing visuals, elegant movement, and a powerful embrace of Cajun folklore, it's a game that lingers with you like the echo of a ghost story told by firelight. From the moment you set foot in the dreamlike southern swamps, South of Midnight enchants with a painterly visual style that blends fantasy and realism. But it's not just pretty, it's purposeful. The game draws heavily from Cajun culture, music, folklore, and spiritual traditions, bringing a refreshing and respectful lens to a region often overlooked in games. From the soundtrack to the haunted architecture and moss-covered bayous, every detail feels lovingly crafted. Content warning: South of Midnight contains mature themes including grief, loss, generational trauma, systemic injustice, and supernatural horror. While handled with care and cultural respect, these storylines can be intense and emotionally heavy. The narrative is where South of Midnight finds its emotional core. It's a tale of lineage, identity, and facing one's past. Told through a blend of folklore and heartfelt character moments, it treats Cajun culture not as exotic backdrop, but as living heritage, full of resilience, humor, sorrow, and spirit. The writing is sharp, the characters are vibrant, and the story feels like something passed down across generations. The game doesn't shy away from confronting the past. The storyline delves into generational trauma, the lingering scars of slavery, family abandonment, and societal neglect, all woven into magical, realist narrative that never feels exploitative. The spirits you fight aren't just monsters, many are metaphors, corrupted memories, vengeful ancestors, or embodiments of suffering left unresolved. You'll traverse ruined plantations, forgotten graveyards, and haunted towns still echoing with the consequences of injustice. The game asks hard questions. What do we inherit, and how do we heal? It's a heavy but necessary journey, one that respects its subject matter by blending truth and myth rather than sanitizing the past. The soundtrack is a standout, full of fiddles, accordions, steel guitars, and swampy rhythms. It's more than ambiance, it's identity. And it elevates every moment from simple exploration to emotional storytelling. Movement in South of Midnight is magical. Traversal feels like part dance, part spellwork. A blend of parkour and arcane mobility that turns getting from point A to point B into a delight. Whether you're dashing across the water's surface or vaulting through mangrove roots, movement is smooth, intuitive, and visually stunning. It gives exploration a flow that matches the game's tone perfectly. While the world is brimming with magic and mystery, combat can feel a bit repetitive due to limited enemy variety. You'll run into the same spectral foes a few too many times. But thankfully, the combat mechanics themselves are exceptional, thanks to the fluid mechanics and smart design. Each ability is responsive and impactful, with satisfying combos that allow for flashy, fluid attacks. And the boss fights? Genuinely thrilling. They're imaginative and challenging, often inspired by regional myths or ghost stories. One of the most delightful aspects of the game is Crouton, a small magical doll brought to life by ancient spells and warm companionship. Crouton isn't just cute, it's a vital sidekick with its own abilities and a mischievous personality. From unlocking hidden paths to offering a cryptic commentary on the world's secrets, Crouton is the heart of many key story beats and puzzles. Its presence adds charm and emotional depth, often acting as a bridge between the protagonist and the world's deeper magical undercurrents. Catfish is another one of the most memorable characters in the game. Equal parts guide, comic relief, and emotional anchor, a magical catfish who serves as both companion and occasional means of transportation. His design is both mythical and grounded in Cajun aquatic folklore, and his dialogue is rich with personality and southern charm. Catfish adds levity to the game's darker themes and is a perfect symbol of how the game mixes whimsy with weight. Often appearing at symbolic moments, it reinforces the game's strong connection to nature, the unknown, and the spiritual world. It's a subtle but powerful representation of ancestral ties and regional mythology. South of Midnight is a beautiful, bold adventure that does something rare in gaming. It honors a specific culture without flattening it. With its unforgettable characters, yes, crouton included, striking visuals, magical traversal, and reverence for Cajun heritage, it overcomes its few flaws, like repetitive enemy types, to deliver an experience that feels genuinely unique. I would not be surprised to see this title being discussed for Game of the Year. We rate South of Midnight a 9 out of 10. South of Midnight earns its 9 out of 10 rating because it delivers a richly immersive experience that blends stunning visuals, deeply rooted Cajun and Creole culture, and emotionally resonant storytelling. The game excels in its fluid movement mechanics, satisfying combat, and unforgettable characters, all while exploring mature themes like grief, legacy, and systemic injustice with care and nuance. While the repetitiveness of enemy types holds it back from a perfect score, the overall quality of the narrative, art direction, soundtrack, and gameplay design easily elevate it to one of the most memorable and meaningful action-adventure titles in recent years.